Do you love creating jelly prints on fabric, but you're not sure how to use them in your art or junk journals? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 10 great ideas on how to use them in your special books. Hi everyone, it's Dragana from Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, I've shown you how you can use your jelly plate and acrylic paints to print on fabric. And in today's video, I want to share with you 10 different ways you can use those fabric jelly prints in your junk journals. Idea number 1, make page toppers in combination with book pages, like little windows. I have some examples here. As you can see, the fabric, which is about that size, is behind the book page. I've done some sewing and then I glued it all onto the paper or the page. Let's have a look at more examples. Same here. This is a jelly print that I fixed with markers. It looks very interesting in a journal like this. Then I have this one. I think this one worked really well with everything that's going on. I fixed this jelly print as well. It wasn't really clear, so I'd drawn on top with a black marker. And yeah, if your fabric jelly print has uneven edges or not so nice edges that you don't know how to incorporate into the page, then this way is the best way to go about it, because you hide those edges with the book page and you end up with just the fabric here. I really like this one. All right. And there's this one. The same here, book page, bit of sewing, and then just decorated a little bit with these down the bottom. Okay, let's quickly make one so that you see the process. I have this jelly print here. It wasn't very clear, so I added sewing and a bit of line work with marker. It's just totally fine. It's actually mixed media now. All right, and I have a book page. So the way I do this is fold the page in half, put it here, and about width of 1 finger, and then I start to tear. Okay. I don't want to take too much. That's probably enough, like half, and then that much. All right, and then I just tear this out. Okay, and I end up with this window. You can keep those for your clusters or something. Then I test it. Okay, I put it there, and I put this on top. Okay, so now I know that I have approximately 1 centimeter space around these lines. Now I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of glue stick, top and bottom, just to hold it in place. Okay, so what I do now, I take it to my sewing machine and I do a straight stitch about 1 centimeter away from these lines. And I go around twice and I don't actually follow the line. I like it to be a little bit uneven. You can certainly do just once. So I'm just going to go to my sewing machine, do that quickly, and I will be back. This is what I end up with. A black frame around this, and you can see that it's still catching the fabric. So I'm going to cut these off. This is basically making a little frame for your jelly print. So what I do now, I just go like this, just to make sure that no white areas are visible. Just peel that off. Remember, we put a little bit of glue stick, so it might be a bit sticky, but definitely can be pulled back. Okay, so you may choose to leave that, but I actually like to just go around and do this. Still have a little bit here. A little bit. Okay, so the frame is done. Now what I like to do is just make this a bit smaller. I just go around and I tear these white edges and I only leave the text. And I like to just ink around. You have to be really gentle with this and careful because it might kind of, you know, it's held together with a stitch, but there is no paper on the inside, so it's just barely together. But I normally glue these inside of the journal, and I'll just show you. I won't glue it because I already have one in this journal, but let's just pretend we're going to put it in this journal and we can find a nice page for it. Okay, maybe this one. All right, so I would now add the glue here and maybe a little bit in the middle, directly on the page, not on the fabric, because I don't want to pull on fabric or threads. So I would put the glue stick in the middle and then glue stick over here, and then I would just glue it down like that. And then of course you can further decorate this. If you made a mistake somewhere and the white is showing, you can cover it up with, for example, a word or something, you know, add a butterfly, add a flower. I think I have some black flowers, you know, add some bits and pieces and make it like a little collage piece inside of your journal. So that is idea number 1. Now we come to the idea number 2, which is also a page topper, but we're not making a frame. We are mounting this on top of another paper or another collage paper or any sort of paper that will go nice and look good with your jelly print. For example, as you can see here, I have this. This is also a jelly print, but on paper, and then I have some cheesecloth. I've added my print that I embellished with sewing machine, and I added a bit of lace here. Let's make one now. Okay, I have that same print. So first of all, you want to have your base for your collage, and you want it obviously to be smaller than the pages in your journal so that you can glue it nicely. You can do this directly inside of your journal, or you can make them like a mess, make lots of these, and then when you have a journal that you're working on, you just go through your stash, find one that looks good, and use it in that journal. Sometimes I like to ink the edges. Now I have my jelly print. As you can see, this jelly print wasn't very successful, so I tried to make it better by adding slow stitch. I don't know how successful that was, but I think it kind of looks all right. And I have a bit of white here showing, which I'm not really, you know, I don't really want it there, so I can either cut it or try to tear it. I made a little cut here and I'm just going to pull. Okay, and same here. I don't really like that white showing, so I'm just gonna tear. Yeah. Okay. I think these colors look good together. I also have a piece of cheesecloth here that I'd like to put behind. If I had a black cheesecloth, maybe I would have used black, but I don't. This is just a quick demonstration. You can definitely spend a lot more time on this, but I just want to show you this. Instead of putting it behind like we did with the book page, you are actually placing it on top because you are happy with your edges. And now you just go and stitch this. You may choose to just glue it down. That's totally up to you. But I'm just going to quickly go to my sewing machine and stitch that. This is what that looks like now. So I'm just going to cut off these threads. And because this is paper, it's going to be really easy to glue that inside of the journal. Now, I would really like to make this a little bit more interesting, and I have some of these lace flowers. So I think I want to add a few. This one as well. And I'm just going to use hot glue. And I just put a few. Maybe there. You may also want to add some buttons or something. I have this little rose thing. Maybe that would look good there. Just put that one there. And my mini collage is done. Wasn't that quick? And all you need to do then is just glue it somewhere inside of your journal. I'll just pick a page to show you. I won't glue it down because, as I said, I already have one in this journal. I don't need two. I'll use it probably somewhere else. But yeah, I would probably just apply the glue to the whole page, and here it is. Doesn't it look cute? Okay, so no Gelli prints on fabric are ever lost. You just fix them if they're not good. If they're good, it's even better. Idea number 3, over the page flip, like I have here. Have some fabrics like this lace thing, and that's a Gelli print that's done on fabric, and I've just attached a little ladybug here. Okay, so it's a really interesting interactive part of a journal. You can definitely write something here that you don't want to be seen, something secret perhaps. So that's in that journal. I don't think I have any in the other journals, but here are some that I've also made, and I haven't really used them anyway, and I prefer to stitch these across inside of the journal. Of course, this journal is already, put together. The only option I have here is to glue that to the page. So let's quickly make one together so that you see how it's done. Now here I have this kind of black mesh, and I have a piece of lacy curtain, and I've got this Gelli print. Again, I did some work on top with a marker, black marker just to make those lines stand up a bit more. And as you can see, there's this white area here, and I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to glue this black lace down the bottom. And you may choose to glue this or take it to your sewing machine. I usually take it to my sewing machine, but I'm not going to now. I think this is just much easier. Okay, and I think this is a bit too big, so I'll just cut it. Let's find a place for it in the journal. Maybe there. What do you think? That over this or over that? Yeah. I think that would look good. So what I do is I add the glue on top, unless I'm sewing this. Just like that. A few dots. Just be careful not to bend yourself. And then I add glue here. And then press. And that's really quickly done. Little flip. And you may attach some charms there as well. Let's see if I have any. I have this wax seal that is rose, similar to that one. I'm just gonna try maybe make it a bit more interesting with this Gelli wax. Yeah. Going to punch a hole here. Use this. And then attach that there. There you go. And you may choose to add more or just have that one. Isn't that really a nice decoration inside of the journal? This is my idea number 4, which is basically a fabric collage or a mixed media piece. It can be standalone, it can be on top of a journal, for example this one. Take that piece and glue it down, and look at that. Immediately it just kind of springs to life. You know, let's see this one. Not as much for this journal, but I think this one looks kind of good on this journal. They are made out of fabric. You may choose to do the sewing by hand, like slow stitch. If you have time and you know how to do it, you may choose to just join them together with the sewing machine like I've done here. But basically your Gelli print, in these cases, that's the Gelli print, that's the Gelli print, and that's the Gelli print. They are the focal images of your collage. And all these other elements add to it. The fabrics behind as texture and color. But your Gelli print is the main thing. And I think these little collages are so nice that you can even choose to keep them as a single piece, as a standalone piece. You mount it on top of one of these little canvas boards. Of course, I would probably do like a different background than white, and you can hang them on the wall somewhere in your room. I think they're like little pictures, and they're really cute. Okay, so let's do one together. This is similar to what I've done with that slow stitch project. I don't know if you remember. It's been some time, either the end of last year or beginning of this year. I will leave the link down below anyway. And Yeah, we've done those little fabric collages and we joined them together with the slow stitch. That was really a lot of fun. And you basically use your fabric scraps to create these. And you just layer them in a fun way. This yellow one. And this is my jelly print. Again, this print wasn't that successful, so I kind of worked on it with a black marker and I added these gold dots with a paint. And yeah, in this case I think I might leave the white around. I don't mind it actually. And I have this little bit left from a crochet piece, and I think if I put it here it looks like an oversized flower, and that as well. Doesn't it? Like a really big flower on this tiny stem. I can do that, or maybe add the black little flowers, something here. But for now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine like this, and I'm just going to stitch around here. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, that's what that looks like now. I'll just cut off these threads. It's kind of cute, I think. Unusual combination, just black and yellow. And I could have taken this to the sewing machine as well, but I think I'm just going to glue that. I think I need something else here. Maybe that. Although it's a bit thick, but that's alright. I'm gonna use that wooden flower instead of the yellow one. Just think it looks a bit better. Okay, so yeah, that can go now on top of a journal. Of course, not this one, doesn't really look nice on that one, but you get what I'm trying to convey here. They are little fabric collages, and I think they're best suited to go on the top of a journal, like on the outside of the journal, especially if you have too many elements that add thickness to it. But they can certainly go inside of the journal, or as I said, you can mount them on these little boards and hang them on your walls and have them as little art pieces. Idea number 5 is to have little framed embellishments like this one. This is just a piece of cardstock and my jelly print that I wrapped around that cardstock, and I added these little picture corners, and that is kind of a really neat look. It's not really grungy like in some of the other examples that I've shown you, like for example in this one. It's a different look, also very nice, and it can as well go on top of a journal. Like here I already have flowers, so I can't show you, but imagine this was the front and you put that there. I think it would look really nice like that, to have original jelly print on the top of your journal. It's just really nice. Also, you can use these inside, like I have here. That's a jelly print that's enhanced with black markers and white markers, and I think I've glued that one. Yeah, that's glued inside of the journal. Okay, it is a bit thick, but yeah, I don't mind. Looks good on that gray page. So let's do one together. So you have your jelly print. Again, this is a jelly print and I've added some sewing to it. I used my sewing machine and I used orange thread to make this sleeve stand out, and I think it just adds to it. And I have a piece of recycled cardstock. So the idea is to glue this all the way around like that. And So the way I do it is first I add glue stick. Doesn't need anything more than that. And then you try to place it. You can see here where the design is. You want to be inside of those so that when you fold you don't see the white. Yeah. And then you just spread it. All right. That's enough. And then you do the same as you would do if you're making a fabric covered journal. You just trim the corners a little bit. And I might as well just use hot glue because I have it here. It's handy. I normally would just use acetone based glue, but this one will do for now. Yeah, just like you do when you make a journal cover. Probably cut that off. Same here. And there it is. Really neat finish. And yeah, you can go ahead and ink, especially if you have some white areas showing, you can ink. And if you happen to have some of these little corner protectors, I can't use these on a journal cover because they're too small, but they're really nice for this. Although my picture frame is just a little bit thin, so I have to add a bit of glue to make them stay in place. Like that. And because these jelly prints were done on fabric, they look like little canvases, don't they? Like real artwork. And in this case we added the sewing, so it's a real mixed media piece. And isn't it nice if you can make a few of these and have them as your junk journal embellishments? It will definitely add value to your journals. You can even sign them there. I think that's really cute. Wouldn't it look good on a journal? Imagine if you have one of the tall, skinny journals, you can have a few, maybe 3 of these on your journal cover. Wouldn't that be really nice? Also, if you were into card making thing, you can make different styles and themes of these jelly prints. And if you're making a card, you place that on top of your card and you place your sentiment inside or even over it. Wouldn't that make a really interesting card or really special card that you give to someone? They may choose to keep it or frame it. Anyway, so that's the idea number 5. So my idea number 6 is actually journal cover. At the start of the video I've shown you those two. They are jelly prints on fabric, much the same as that one. And like I said, I have a video where I've shown you how to make those. So I've decided to turn this one into a journal cover, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. It's almost like a book cloth, has a leathery feel because acrylics are obviously making the fabric a bit tougher and more elastic and more durable, and I've just turned it into a journal cover. And I'm going to do the same with these because I absolutely love, I mean, imagine your own artwork as a journal cover, and it's not bound, obviously. I just put some signatures in, but yeah, that is the jelly print that's been turned into a journal cover. Yeah, I was very happy how it turned out, and it was really easy to do. And I still have to decide whether I want any of these here, maybe that one. One of those collages, that one. It would cover this beautiful leaf then. I don't know if I want anything. But let me know what you think, what I should do. Should I just leave it as it is or add these things? Yeah, I can't decide. I wish I can hear your thoughts now. That would be awesome. Okay, now if you have small jelly prints on fabric like I have here, I think they are perfect candidate to make into tags. And that's what I did with these. They were all printed on fabric, and I glued them onto cardstock, and I chose to stitch around and add eyelets. And they're like fabric and paper tags, and they have this wonderful tactile quality. I absolutely love them. And yeah, if you have lots of small pieces of fabric that is not very interesting, or it's design that you don't really like, just print on it with your jelly plate and then turn them into tags. Let's make one together. So I'll just use glue stick again. Okay. I'm using glue stick because I'm going to be taking this to my sewing machine, but you can certainly use better glue, and then don't worry about sewing. One thing to remember with this is when you cut it, you can use your scissors, of course. It would have to be sharp scissors that can cut through the fabric and cardstock. Like mine just moved a little bit because this is not glued properly. But it's much better actually to use one of those rotary cutters if you happen to have one. This one. Mine doesn't seem to be really sharp. I used it a lot. If you're going to use your scissors, use a better glue and wait until it's dry. I actually can't be bothered waiting. I want to show you this now. So I'm cutting, but I shouldn't really. It's not really dry or glued at all. Okay, and then I can just use one of those as the guide to cut the corners. Okay, take this to my sewing machine and I'll be back. Alright, that's what that looks like. Cut that off. So this tag has a purpose. You can write things on this side and you can have a nice picture to look at on that side. So I'll just mark where to punch a hole. Put that through. That's it. And I have a bit of white or brown showing, so I'll just ink and it will get rid of all the fluff. I'm actually very happy with it and I will add it to this collection. So that was tags. Idea number 8 is pockets. These are really cute fabric pockets and I use jelly plate on this fabric and I think they would look really cool in a journal. Perhaps on the cover. I would definitely attach that with the sewing machine, but before I glue the fabric onto the cover, so because I wouldn't want the sewing to show on this side, so it's too late for this journal, but I can certainly just glue that down. Okay, I won't glue this one, although it looks kind of alright there. It's just not in that, I don't know, that look. I would rather have something along these lines, but it looks kind of good with these. Anyway, I'll just show you quickly how to make those. You basically tidy up 3 sides and you leave the top or one side, one of the longer sides raw as it is. I think I used just a lighter here to make these edges more kind of to make those edges neat. Okay, you basically have your fabric or your jelly print and get a piece of ribbon. It could be lace, a ribbon, anything that's wide enough that can be wrapped over this top edge, because when you push things inside of that pocket you want that kind of protected. I mean, I suppose you can do it like that, but it might become a bit stretched over time, so you need like a reinforcement. So you place that there and you just fold that over. You can use the glue even. In fact, let's just use the glue. If you don't feel like sewing, you can just use the glue. Fabric is really thin and I put a lot of glue. Hopefully it won't be visible. I think it's alright. Maybe I can put this. You think even here would look nice. Cute pockets made out of fabric jelly prints. Why not? Really unique, I think. And I think I used lace on the jelly to get this design. It's not even a stamp or a stencil, it's a lace here as well. It's a lace that I had when we did those lacy cards. I don't know if you remember that. It's been a while. I'll link that video as well. Idea number 9 is belly bands. I'm not going to make one. It's quite simple. I'm sure you know how to make a belly band, but I'll just show you these examples. It's just scrap paper and strips of fabric that are glued with glue stick, and then I stitched with my sewing machine. So you pick where you want them in your journal, basically, for example here, and you put the glue on top and the bottom, and you're done. And then you can use it to put things, tuck things underneath. You can certainly use them on the side or whatever. You can even go across, but you would have to make a smaller one. But basically what they are in this case is their jelly print on fabric that's been then glued to the paper and used as a belly band. And I think they also have very nice tactile quality, and it's, you know, it just adds so much to your journal when you use any sort of original artwork. So that's the idea number 9. Idea number 10 is make your own ribbon. I've used some avocado dyed fabric, and I printed leaves over it. Look at that unique ribbon. I could have gone like with a longer piece, but that's all right. I turned this one into a ruffle. You can create any design you like on your jelly print and then just pick it up with the fabric and then tore it into strips and make ribbon. Or if you already have ribbon that it's in one color, just use it to pick up the design from your jelly print. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So this is my 10 ideas on how to use fabric jelly prints in junk journals. I am quite sure you can come up with at least 10 more. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any that are really good and would like to share with the rest of us, please do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you gave you lots and lots of ideas and inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.